So this semi-final comes back to the northwest, home territory for both clubs, and back to a league ground. The capacity at Maine Road won't be reached tonight. 22,500 tickets were allocated to Manchester United, 14,500 to Oldham. But whereas United sold their last few tickets late this afternoon, 5,500 of Oldham's remained unsold. And with United's double bid taking a bit of a battering, 37-year-old Brian Robson, who has lifted the FA Cup at Wembley on 3 occasions, is restored to the starting lineup. Andrei Kanchelskis and Roy Keane are both back from suspension, so Lee Sharp and Brian McClare drop to substitutes. Dion Dublin is left out, and how do you see them lining up, Trevor Brooking?
Well, I think the 3 newcomers have to play an important part. Brian Robson, of course, came on in the first game to offset the combative midfield aggression, I think, of Nick Henry, and Mike Milligan did very well. Kanchelskis down the right, his pace, I'm sure, is going to be a threat, and Keane will get forward at every opportunity from midfield.
Well, Oldham keep the side that played throughout on Sunday. Number 3, Neil Poynton, number 17, Darren Beckford, and number 25, Rick Holden, know this ground well. They are former Manchester City players, as is substitute Steve Redmond, who's back from suspension. And there are 4 survivors, Hallworth, Henry, Milligan and Holden, from the semi-final replay here 4 years ago. Much the same as on Sunday then, Trevor.
Well, it looks like it. I think Neil Poynton, of course, who got forward on a number of occasions, scored the goal, might be sort of more occupied with Kanchelskis down that side. And it'd be interesting to see whether Rick Holden and Paul Bernard do stay on those flanks, because Paul Bernard, perhaps a bit more better defensively, might switch sides just to help out on occasion with Kanchelskis.
Since wide is Irwin. Ince again. Robson into the penalty area now. Ince, a wide pass to Kanchelskis. Hughes was ready for a wind-up volley. It's come out to Irwin. That's Robson. That's Irwin! That's 1-0! Dennis Irwin! And Brian Robson played a part in the goal.
Well, it's great build-up, wasn't it? Dennis Irwin knocks it into Brian Robson, clips it, jests it down, it sits up to be hit, he crashes it into the net and scores against his old club.
Inside the first 10 minutes, Brian Robson plays the return ball, and as you say, Irwin, the former Oldham player, puts them 1 behind in this semi-final replay. Beautifully taken by a fullback who's never afraid to use his imagination in attack. And what a start for Manchester United. Well, he'll be really pleased with that. His 4th goal of the season. Now, what a stiff test for Oldham, Trevor.
Well, it is.
Again. Paul Parker. Oh, well, that was a let-off. He was looking here to play it to Schmeichel, but look at Beckford. Gets round the goalkeeper, and Dennis Irwin on the post. Mark Hughes to Ince. And they're streaming forward here. This is Kanchelskis. Giggs waving to him from the far side. Still Kanchelskis, going alone. Oh, what a brilliant goal! Have you seen anything like that in a semi-final? Andrei Kanchelskis started on the right wing and went across the pitch on a personal crusade, away from Holden, edge of the area. Well, devastating.
Well, that's quite a magnificent goal. I said on Sunday how much I thought they missed him, but I didn't expect to see him hit a left footer like that from all of 20 yards, making the goal out of nothing. A quite superb goal, and now it's going to be a mountain, isn't it, for Oldham?
Good defending between Fleming and Johnson, really, because it went off Hughes for a goal kick.
A magnificent move, that was United at their best. Using the width, though, aren't they? Look at the confidence now. Dennis Irwin, 2-0 up, And there he is getting forward, and Fleming did well just to knock Hughes off balance.
Suddenly we're seeing the flamboyant Manchester United of earlier in the season. Everything's coming off at the moment. And there's Mr. Oldham say it's a corner. They're convinced it is. Pallister looks relieved. Well, what about this?
Well, I think they were relieved because of a handball. Oldham definitely thought Pallister had handballed it in the scramble earlier, and then when it broke for Rick Holden, I think, in fact, that's the incident. You can see all the hands go up, and he's on his right foot, which isn't his best, and he drags a good opportunity wide.
Yes, they were appealing for a handball, you're quite right. It's there, isn't it? He kicks the ball onto his own arm, Gary Pallister. Well, referee has to say, is it intentional? And he's standing in a good position, Martin Boddenham.
Well, he couldn't have been in a better spot, and all the hands went up, didn't they, for Oldham? Again, a certain relief from United, and then, of course, they missed the shooting opportunity. That was where they could have definitely got one back.
So, the excitement unabated.
Interesting point in that attack which developed the scramble was Graham Sharp pulling and getting on Paul Parker, and perhaps Oldham have remembered what Alan Shearer did, and that might be something we see more.
This is Graham Sharp. This is Beckford and Schmeichel. Good position again.
Well, it was a good ball by Graham Sharp, wasn't it? Not offside. I thought Darren Beckford might have tried to bring it down there, and he rushed his shot. I think it would have gone past the far post, although give credit to Schmeichel, he made the save.
Giggs. Ince. Well played again by Hughes. This is Keane. Kanchelskis down this side. Ince making ground into the area. Giggs is arriving as well.
Mark Hughes was magnificent there. I mean, he is one of the big difference between the two sides. He's up there by himself, but he's so strong, he's shielding it, bringing other people into play, whereas when it goes up on these situations, Oldham hadn't been able to.
Well, Graham Sharp has still made 2 or 3 valuable contributions up there for Oldham. They may have been under siege at the other end, but they've got a corner here. And with just over 5 minutes left in the first half, Oldham search for a way back. Beckford, Poynton, yes! It's the same man again. They found a way back, and it was from a Holden corner, as on Saturday. Beckford gets a foot in, Poynton does the same in front of Schmeichel, and he jabs Oldham back into this semi-final.
Well, this is absolutely crucial, and should have been hooking it with his right foot, somehow managed to twist his leg round. Again, the pace of Holden's free kicks and corner kicks makes all the difference. Here, just knocked on, and it's Poynton who reacts quickest, and that is an absolutely crucial game to get Oldham back into it.
Well, Poynton, whose first goal of the season came at Wembley, now scores his second and puts a different complexion on this replay. Anyway, Bernard. It's not away. It's Parker with Beckford. It's Poynton again. Desperate defending.
It was almost a comedy of errors there by everyone. Graham Sharp hit a bad cross. Gary Pallister messed up with his clearance, and it went from bad to worse, but somehow United got it away.
Forward again by Graham Sharp. And the Oldham supporters behind the goal that their team are now attacking see renewed hope. Bernard.
Pity.
Hughes goes again. Jobson's the defender.
There's no penalty there. Mark Hughes Made up a lot of ground there, did very well, and it was trying to back into the defender there, Richard Johnson.
He's the only one. It's still Kanchelskis. And the follow-up by Hughes, who arrived late.
Well, it's a stunning run by Kanchelskis. I mean, poor Neil Poynton there. I think his hamstrings are about to go there. Great pullback, and that was terrific defending there just to put the shooter off.
I think Fleming dived in, didn't he, and got the deflection. Here's the corner. So often players get into that position and don't pull the ball back as beautifully as he did.
Some speculation as to whether Kanchelskis will be staying next season. I think it'd be a great loss if he was allowed to go.
Robson. Ince. Here's Kanchelskis again. It'll also be a great loss to us and to Russia if he doesn't play in the World Cup, because that's in debate at the moment. There's an argument going on in the Russian squad between certain players and the coach, and as things stand, players like Kanchelskis look like being left out.
Well, it would be a great loss because he sometimes plays more of a defensive role, doesn't he, on that right flank for Russia. It really needs to be released as he is this evening for United, where he's just running at his fullback, and he is a frightening sight, I'm sure, for any defender who he's heading towards.
He may have done so now. Hughes goes to the near post, and it flies off the head of Fleming again. Oh, Robson arriving. Brian Robson, 3-1. Well, the 37-year-old club captain restored to the starting lineup tonight. Heads in from a corner that Hallworth missed.
Well, it's a sad mistake, isn't it? Hallworth trying to get in front of Hughes, but it clears everyone, and it hits Brian Robson more than anything, and his midriff hip or something. I'm sure he's not too worried. There he is, soaring up. His commitment gets him there. It's a soft goal, but a vital goal.
And it's the 99th goal that Brian Robson has scored in his Manchester United. ...20 minutes gone in the second half of this replay at Maine Road, and Manchester United's 2-goal advantage is restored. And I think Alex Ferguson will be well pleased at the moment with his decision to bring Robson back.
Well, Robson and Kanchelskis, I mean, he shuffled his pack this evening. Keane came back as well, and he's worked very hard. But, I mean, Kanchelskis and Robson have been very instrumental in the change in fortunes. I think Mark Hughes has been superb down the middle as well, up there on that lone striking role, and those three probably more than anything have been the difference.
Graham Sharp. But there's a zip about Manchester United again now after the Robson goal. Parker. And Kanchelskis has never had a night like this. He's getting the ball every 2 minutes. Here's Ince. Back heel into Kanchelskis' path. Brilliant. Hughes got out the way. It's going to come to Giggs. Oh, it was going in the far corner, I'm sure. It looked like it from here. We're back on the attack with Manchester United. Giggs has got space on this side, found by Kanchelskis. Giggs again. Yes! He walks away, the coolest man in the stadium. Kanchelskis plays a part again, and Alex Ferguson and Brian Kidd Must feel now they've broken Oldham's resistance. Ryan Giggs.
Well, his first shot goes against the defender. He gets a kind return, doesn't make any mistake with the second, does he? But Andre Kanchelskis again, his pace, unselfishly switched it to Giggs. There he is, crashes it in the far corner, but Kanchelskis has just been above anyone else on the pitch.
Through pass, it's driven wide to Sharp. Ince, McClare in a great position. Irwin, McClare now. Sharp back to Irwin. And they can work it square again. Kanchelskis to fire one.
Brian Robson there shouting across at him, thinking, what do you think you can score from anywhere this evening? And don't know what language they're chatting amongst the pair of them, but quite a relaxed atmosphere, not surprisingly now.
So the 90 minutes is up at Maine Road. Giggs. Ince to collect. Has he got the extra? Yes, he has. Sharp. Little shout for offside there that didn't materialise. Oh, well played by Andy Ritchie. A final burst from Oldham. Reach their 12th FA Cup final, equalling Arsenal's record. Consolation for Joe Royle. But Brian Robson's return strengthened Manchester United's resolve. And with Andre Kanchelskis in scintillating form, they got hold of this match in the first half and regained their grip on it in the second. Ryan Giggs putting it beyond all doubt with goal number 4 to add to those put past John Holworth earlier by Irwin, Kanchelskis and Robson. The dream of the double still exists for Manchester United. They played Chelsea in the FA Cup final at Wembley. What a story if Brian Robson's in action that day. May the 14th. And in the meantime, they'll go on fighting out the Premiership with Blackburn Rovers. As for Oldham,